Come on in, welcome to my home. Well, it's that time of year when most people are deciding it is time to purge the stuff that they don't need anymore, or don't want anymore, or they have been told that they need to get rid of. Well, yeah, okay, that's cool, you can do that. Really better if you do that all year round, but we'll ignore that part. Let's talk about something which is more important. Let's talk about the stuff which we've been told to purge, but you probably shouldn't. Because there's a lot of stuff that's like that. Now, most of what I'm going to tell you is coming from my personal experience, but also there are links down in the description, which also go to articles that talk about these things. And some of them are kind of straightforward. Like when you start throwing away things, should you really throw away photographs? Like old photographs. And part of you are saying, well, yeah, I mean, I don't need 50 of the same photograph, and I'm going to agree with you, you really don't. Go through and sort out what you need, and this isn't just for things like, your digital pictures that you've taken with your phone or with your camera. No, these are including old photographs. Because what I did, and I've talked about this in other videos, where I scanned every single photograph that my family owns, and I have them all digitized. I went through and labeled them, put the years when I could get the years, who was in the picture, and we have a source of that. I have it backed up on the cloud. I have it in boxes of the original photographs. So should I throw away those original photographs now that they've been scanned? No, I really shouldn't. Someday somebody else might want them. There are lots of different reasons to keep them. But that's one of the things which I have found is throwing away actual photographs that you might need, or their family heirlooms, or they involve people who might not be around anymore. That's not a good thing to do. Also, deleting those pictures that you took of your sofa or a lamp. You're saying right now, well, why would I ever need those? Speaking as a person who's done this, sometimes you're going to ask yourself, well, I wonder what was in that room back in 1973. Those things come up. Now, do you need 70 of the same room from back in 1973? Probably not, but it is good to keep those things that you did have. And so getting rid of old photographs is not that great of an idea. Also, when it comes to those sort of things, personal letters, and I do mean personal letters. Personal letters are something that you probably want to keep. Even if you digitize them, which once again, the real heartfelt ones, those sort of things, I've scanned them, made sure that I have copies of them, but keeping them so you have a physical thing that you can look through, it is really nice and it's sort of touching. The same thing holds true with recipes, those sort of things. It just is nice to have that connection in a physical form, not just a digital form. The nice part about having a digital form is you can then share those things that you want to share, like recipes, with other family members. But those are really nice things to keep hold of. There are going to be lots of times when you go through a whole bunch of documents and you're saying, is this an important document? And it might be. Throwing away important documents is kind of bad. Things like insurance, wills, that sort of thing. And you're like, well, no one's going to throw those things away. Well, no, people have thrown them away. So before you just grab up a pile of paper and decide this is the moment that I'm going to pitch out all of that paper, no, this is the moment you're going to have to go through and see if these are important things, because this could be anything from deeds to marriage certificates to car registrations. I don't know what your important papers are, but look through those papers and make sure that what you are throwing away is not important, because it might actually be important, and it might be important for a few reasons, especially if you have things like old marriage certificates where you can prove that this person was married to that person. Yeah, those are really good things to have and good things to keep. And also it's good to keep track of where they are. This is also a great time to go through your manuals and decide if you even still have that item or don't have that item at all. I personally am really notorious for getting rid of something and then still keeping the manual. Why? Why would I still have a manual of something that I no longer have? And realistically, when I got rid of that item, I should have sent the item with the manual. So, unless I was throwing it away, but then again, well, that's still the same thing. If you're throwing it away, you're throwing away the manual at the same time. There is no reason to keep a manual for something that you no longer have. Now, if you're wondering what to do with those, you could actually try selling them, like eBay or something like that, because there are lots of people who will get probably the items that I have sent away or, donate it, and they don't have manuals, and they would love to have a manual. And this might make you an extra couple bucks, or you could just take them to your local whatever store or your local donation place, and they might be willing to sell them because manuals are something for old items it is hard to come across. So it's a good way to make some money. Let's talk paint. It is really easy to paint a room and then dump out the old paint. And by dump out, I just mean throw out the old can because it's going to get hard and crusty and everything. Well, that's a really bad idea. Why is that a bad idea? Because you might need to do touch-ups. And when you do touch-ups, you might not have any more of that paint. So if you can put your paint into a smaller container and then seal it up, label the paint, label the formula, everything that you could possibly think of that you could then use to recreate that paint, it's good. Now, one thing I will tell you is time changes paint. If you've had walls that have been painted and they've been up there for quite a while, it's not going to be the same exact color as the brand new color coming out. So that's something to think about. Paint can get old and just no longer good. That is also something to think about. I've found that I personally, when I have old paint, which I don't have any right now, I'm going to tell you that right now, I don't have any old paint. I like to put my paint into more of a clear container and then put that container into a really dark place because I have been told, which I don't know is 100% true, but I have been told that you want to keep paint in a dark spot, which will have the paint stay longer, and you can sort of see if it's good, if it's not good, how much you have. That way something it's easy, but make sure you are keeping it in a very sealed and a nice place that it can stay, because old paint can come in handy. Let's talk cookware. Cookware is one of those things that you could actually forget about. Like, a lot of people go through and they're like, well, I don't need this turkey roaster because I can just get another one next year at whatever ridiculous price it is. Or I'll just get an aluminum foil one that I use twice or 3 times a year. Well, really? Why not just buy a turkey roaster, figure out a way to store it or a place to put it that's out of the way, and then keep it. So that way you have your cookware, or reuse your cookware for other things. Old metal cookie sheets can be turned into magnetic boards. Yeah, sort of cool. You can put some of your cookware, like a baking pan can go underneath a flour to catch water. Really easy. But cookware is one of those things that it's really easy to just do the whole, well, I barely ever use this thing, I'm going to get rid of it. And then you go to make something and you need that huge stock pot that you just got rid of, and now you need to go out and buy some sort of really expensive stock pot that you already had. Don't do that. No. See if you can condense, see if you can combine things. Make sure that you make a list of where everything is, but cookware is one of the things I really would keep. Irreplaceable antiques are one of those things that people are like, that's just out of style. I'm going to get rid of it. Oh, please don't do that. Because, let's see, which I'm looking at that bookcase was in my grandma's house. So I know that bookcase it was originally a bookcase. I'm now using it as a part of a hutch. And then this quilt was something that my great-grandmother started and never finished. And these really they're irreplaceable things. If you can give them to family members who might want them, if you could just store them. Because this is one thing that a lot of people don't talk about. The fact that people way back in the day, when they had those houses, they had attics where you could put the furniture that you weren't using at that time up into the attic and then pull it out when you did want to use it, which might be sooner than what you think. Styles change. And also your sentimental feeling about this. Every time I see that, I can still see it was sitting in like a little hallway that was near the spot where my grandma talked on the phone, and sometimes she would have like toys, and her encyclopedias were in there. So she was talking on the phone. Sometimes we'd just play with the toys that were in that bookcase. And these are things that you will remember. And they can bring them back, those things. There are parts of you which, as much as you want to be just a person living with a spork and a coat hanger, yeah, having these things that you can cherish, irreplaceable things that you want to hold on to, you might not be that kind of person. You might be the kind of person who's like, nope, I want to get rid of it all. I don't want any of these irreplaceable things. I will sell them, get rid of them. Which, is that fine? Yeah, that's really fine. You do you. But a lot of people, especially at this time of year, are like, no, I want to clean out everything, get all new stuff. And then a few months later, they're like, wow, I really wish I would have kept this or that or whatever. These irreplaceable items are just things that, it might feel like it's a good idea to purge, but it might not. Now, here's a funny one. Let's talk about your original packing boxes. This comes from experience. My experience was Mom had a problem with her new robot vacuum, and it was probably a month or so into it, and they're like, yes, well, we'll take it back and we'll, just ship it back in the original packing container. And I'm like, what? Yes, the original 2 by 2 foot packing container. I was supposed to have kept that so that way, if I ever had to ship it back, I could ship it back. This goes with the whole warranty thing and the whole manuals. When you keep your manuals, there's a reason for it. When you keep the original packing boxes, you want to keep them for as long as the warranty will then have it so you can repair it. Because a lot of places now are making it so that you have to ship the thing back in the original box because they know that you didn't keep the original box. You got rid of it. You flatten that thing because you don't have places to store it. I store my original boxes out in my garage, and it takes up a lot, and I mean a lot of room. It is annoying. But once that time period is gone, once that warranty is over, that's when you can start getting rid of the original boxes if you want to, but you might not, because you might decide that it's easier to pack things if you move into the original boxes. All right, so these are really easy things that you can do yourself and not throw them away. One of the big ones that everybody always forgets, when you're cooking and you throw away the instruction, that box that you know how to fix whatever it is that you're making, and you throw it away because you don't need it, and then 5 seconds later, you're rummaging through the trash because you're not sure how long you're supposed to boil your water for. Keep those boxes until you're done, actually making the food. It will help you so much to save that box until it's actually done. You have it, then once the food is made, throw the box away because you never have to dig through the trash, and it becomes so much easier. Yeah. And then there are also things like your medication. If you keep your medications the reactions and that sort of stuff that comes with the pills. I know when I get my pills, they come with a sheet that says, what exactly it is that you are supposed to, the side effects that could happen. Keep those. Put those somewhere where people can find them. So just in case you need them, you have them. It's always nice to have proof that you've done something, so sometimes receipts are good to keep. But when it comes to the financial end of this, that's a whole nother issue. I generally, personally, when it comes to paying bills, I only keep the bill for the current month if it's a reoccurring bill. So my water bill, I will keep just the one water bill, because if I didn't pay the other water bill, it will show up on the new one. Yeah, it will. So yeah, that's my idea of an anti-purge. There are things that you really don't need to get rid of. There are things that you can get rid of. One of the things which you can always get rid of is artwork or knickknacks and those sort of things. As long as they have no sentimental value to you, it's fine. Make sure they also don't have a sentimental value to somebody else, and make sure that you own the item that you are getting rid of, that you aren't getting rid of something that's someone else's, because that is really easy to do. Get rid of somebody else's something because you have no attachment to it. People have attachments to different things. Let them have their attachments. It's okay. I'd like to take this time to thank these people who encourage me to go through things and show you what things you could or could not get rid of in a way that makes sense. If you'd like to become one of the people who is a part of the Patreon family or part of the channel members, go ahead and subscribe, because that's what really keeps this channel going and helps me create bigger and better projects. And we have some really big projects coming up, and I hope that you will enjoy these new projects. So go ahead and check out those forums so that you can see if you'd want to become one of the patrons, or you could like and share this video with your friends and family. Well, I hope this helped you. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know down in the comments what things that you are keeping this year. It'll be interesting. I hope you have a great day, and I hope I get to see you again next time you stop by.